Good day everyone. So for this video, I'm going to report the continuation of Article 9 Constitutional Commission, which is the Commission on Elections. Section 1. Composition and appointment of COMELEC members. In the 1. The COMELEC comprises a chairman and 6 commissioners. All must be natural-born Filipino citizens, yung at least 35 years old, college graduates or college degree holder, and not candidates in the preceding elections. Wala siya giapilan nga elections before ba. A majority, including the chairman, must be members of the Philippine Bar with at least 10 years of legal practice. Example, if the COMELEC is composed of 7 members, at least 4, including the chairman, must be lawyers with a minimum of 10 years of legal experience. So for number 2, the president appoints the chairman and commissioners, subject to the commission and appointments consent. They serve 7-year terms without reappointment. Initial appointments are staggered 3 for 7 years, 2 for 5, and 2 for 3 years. To ensure continuity, vacancies are filled only for the unexpired term. Example, if a commissioner appointed for a 5-year term resigns after 3 years, the replacement serves only for the remaining 2 years. No temporary or acting appointments are allowed. Section 2. Powers and functions of the COMELEC. Number 1. Enforcement of election laws. The COMELEC enforces and administers all laws related to the elections, plebiscites, initiatives, referendums, and recalls. Example, the COMELEC ensures compliance with campaign finance regulations and rules on election propaganda. So dapat ang COMELEC gyud nga nang mag-implement sila mga regulations or rules nga about sa election ba. So 2, jurisdiction over election contest. The COMELEC has exclusive original jurisdiction over election contest for regional, provincial, and city officials, and appellate jurisdiction over municipal and barangay election contests decided by lower courts. Decisions on municipal and barangay contests are final. Example, a losing candidate for mayor can appeal to the COMELEC, but a losing candidate for barangay captain cannot appeal beyond the COMELEC's decision. 3. Decision-making power. The COMELEC decides all election-related questions except voting rights, including polling place locations, election official appointments, and voter registration. So example, the COMELEC determines the number of polling precincts needed in a specific area based on voter population. So for this number 3, kinahanglan yun ang mga taga-COMELEC mag-decide sila og asa ikuan ang i-held ang election, ang mga voter registration, then nagaling sa mga kanang present ba number, di ba naman yun ay mga present number o asa ka na belong adto ka dito na ito yung mga number. So for 4, deputization of law enforcement. The COMELEC can deputize law enforcement agencies, including the armed forces, to ensure free, orderly, honest, peaceful, and credible elections with the president's concurrence. Example, during elections, the Philippine National Police or PNP may be deputized by the COMELEC to maintain order and security at polling places. So, kinahanglan gyud ang mga taga-COMELEC mangwa sila mga kuan ba kana galing mga PNP, like para pod ma-maintain na to ang kalinawan ug kahusayan sa election nana ba. So for number 5, registration of political parties. The COMELEC registers political parties, organizations, or coalitions after publication, requiring a platform or program of government, It also accredits citizens' arms of the COMELEC. Religious groups and those using violence or foreign funding are excluded. Example, a new political party must submit its constitution and platform to the COMELEC for registration. Foreign funding to a political party is a ground for deregistration. For number 6, petitions and prosecution, the COMELEC files petitions for voter inclusion or exclusion, investigates and prosecutes election law violations including fraud. Example, the COMELEC can file a case against individuals engaged in vote buying. So, katong mga galing mga like mga nidagan ba na di ba kasagaran sa to ang kuan karon kay naikamang gyud for which is means kwarta. So if mabala na siya sa taga COMELEC, pwede na sila ma-filean og kaso. Bawal yun na ang vote buying. So for 7, recommendations to Congress. The COMELEC recommends measures to Congress to minimize election spending and prevent fraud. Example, the COMELEC might recommend stricter regulations on campaign spending limits. 8. To the President. The COMELEC recommends the removal of disciplinary action against deputized officers who violate its orders. Example, if a deputized police officer fails to follow COMELEC instructions, the COMELEC can recommend the removal to the President. Inani. So, if ang COMELEC instructions galing nga wala gisunod sa kuan kaning wala example na mag-base ani sa example like ang COMELEC instructions kay wala gisunod sa police officers, so pwede siya makuanan remove to the President kay if ang COMELEC yoy mo kuan ba mo lihok mag-recommend sa President nga i-remove siya. So for 9, submission of reports. The COMELEC submits comprehensive reports on elections to the President and Congress. Example, after every election, the COMELEC submits a detailed report on voter turnout, election irregularities, and overall election conduct. So, ang taga-COMELEC gyud kinahanglan mag-submit gyud na sila og mga about sa election ba nga unsay mga nakuan unsay naidagan sa election sa Congress ug sa presidente, kinahanglan dito sila mo submit. So section 3 na ta. For section 3, COMELEC procedures. The COMELEC can sit and bank or in 2 divisions. It promulgates rules of procedure to expedite election cases, including pre-proclamation controversies. Cases are heard in divisions, but en banc decisions handle reconsideration motions. Example, an election protest is initially heard by a division, but an appeal of that division's decision is heard by the COMELEC en banc. Section 4. Supervision during election period. During the election period, the COMELEC supervises or regulates franchises for transportation, public utilities, media, and government grants to ensure equal opportunities for candidates. So, example ani kay during the election period, the COMELEC can regulate the airtime given to political candidates on television and radio. Section 5. The President cannot grant pardons, amnesties, paroles, or sentence suspensions for election law violations without the COMELEC's favorable recommendation. Example, if a candidate is convicted of vote buying, the President cannot pardon them without the COMELEC's approval. Section 6. A free and open party system is allowed, subject to constitutional provisions. Example, new political parties can form and register with the COMELEC, provided they meet the requirements. Section 7. Only votes for registered party list organizations are valid. So, of course. Example, votes cast for unregistered political groups are not counted. So, ay katug yung wala na rehistro, dili gito siya counted. Kung malamang. Section 8 na ta. Registered party list organizations cannot be represented on voter registration boards, election inspector boards, canvassing boards, or similar bodies, but they can appoint poll watchers. Example, a party list group cannot have a representative on the board of election inspectors, but can have a designated poll watcher in each present. Section 9. Election period. The election period is 90 days before and 30 days after election day, unless the COMELEC specifies otherwise. Example, if the election is on the May 9th, the election period runs from February 9th to June 9th. Section 10. Section 10. Candidate protection. Bona fide candidates are protected from harassment and discrimination. Example, candidates should not be unfairly targeted or subjected to intimidation during the campaign. So, kailangan yun ang protektahan ng mga candidature. Section 11. Funding. The COMELEC receives automatic funding for elections upon the chairman's certification of necessity. Example, the COMELEC submits a budget request to the government, and once approved, the funds are automatically released. So, mo din ni. If ang COMELEC kayo sabi so og a budget request to the government, once ma-approve to siya, tagaan na yun sila kwarta funds. Char, sana all. D. The Commission on Audit na ta. Per Section 1, this section outlines the structure and qualifications of COA. So for the number 1, the COA comprises a chairman and 2 commissioners. These individuals must be natural-born Filipino Gyapon citizen, yung at least 35 years old, and either certified public accountants, CPAs, with at least 10 years of auditing experience, or members of the Philippine Bar with at least 10 years of legal practice. Crucially, not all commissioners can be from the same profession. This ensures a diverse range of expertise in overseeing government finances. So, kinahanglan kaning mga mukha og COA baka ng kinahanglan po natural-born Filipino, yung 35 years old, gyapon siya yung kanang na-experience 10 years of auditing experience, yung kinahanglan po members of the Philippine Bar with at least 10 years of legal practice. Yung expert po mga about finances baka naman. Kaya di ba trabaho nila kayo tig-audit man. So, dapat expert kaya inani. So, for number 2. Example, for number 2. Dikta na ta. The President appoints the chairman and commissioners. Subject to confirmation by the Commission on Appointments, their terms is 7 years without reappointment. To ensure a staggered approach to appointments, the initial appointments are for 7, 5, and 3 years respectively. Vacancies are filled for the remainder of the preceding commissioners. Preventing any temporary or acting appointments, this system promotes continuity and stability within the COA. Section 2. This section details the COA's extensive authority in auditing government accounts. So, for this, the COA has the power to examine, audit, and settle all government accounts, covering revenue, receipts, expenditures, and the use of funds and property. This encompasses various entities, including A constitutional bodies with fiscal autonomy. For example, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, the central bank enjoys fiscal autonomy but it is still subject to COA post-audit. B. Autonomous state colleges and universities. Universities like the University of the Philippines are autonomous but must undergo COA audits. So, basta mga kuan siya ng mga public gali, ay like mga kuan ba? Under siya sa government. C. Government-owned and controlled corporations or GOCCS. GOCCS like the Philippine National Oil Company fall under the COA's jurisdiction. D. Non-governmental entities receiving subsidies. NGOs receiving government funding are also subject to COA audit, ensuring accountability for the use of public funds. The COA also maintains the government's general accounts and preserves relevant documents for a period defined by law. If an agency's internal control system is inadequate, the COA can implement measures like temporary pre-audits to address deficiencies. So for number 2, the COA holds exclusive authority to define the scope of its audits, establish methodologies, and promulgate accounting and auditing rules and regulations. This includes the power to prevent the disallow irregular, unnecessary, excessive, extravagant, or unconscionable expenditures of government funds and properties. This ensures that COA maintains control over its processes and can enforce financial discipline across government entities. Section 3. Jurisdiction and exemptions. These sections emphasizes the COA's broad reach and the prohibition against exemptions. So for example, no law can exempt any government entity, its subsidiaries, or any investment of public funds from the COA's jurisdiction. This prevents any attempts to circumvent the COA's oversight and ensure complete accountability for all public funds. This underlines the COA's crucial role as the supreme auditor. Section 4, the last part of COA. Reporting requirements. This section outlines the COA's reporting responsibilities. So for example, the COA submits an annual report to the President and Congress on the financial condition and operations of the government, its subdivisions, agencies, instrumentalities, GOCCs, and subject non-governmental entities. This report includes recommendations for improving effectiveness and efficiency. This ensures transparency and allows for legislative oversight of government spending. The report also includes any other reports mandated by law. So, kinahanglan kaning COA, kinahanglan silang mag-report ko sa presidente o mga Congress about sa